Cafe, Sharp, Lynn, Phil. Good start. Pretty cool my hair, I guess. Okay. Uh, yeah. Another week done, gone, and hey, we're ready to face it. We're tough. North Americans are tough. U.S., Canada, right on. Oh, where to start? It just gets crazier every week, eh? It's Carney's flying around the world doing SFA. Pierre's out there trying to get a message out to people, and the left is just losing their crap because, well, Pierre's making sense. He wants to send the country in the right direction, giving us a little bit of history about Canada, although it's kind of irrelevant right now because of the mass migration that's coming in. The fake asylum seekers, fake refugees, the student visas that they're not going home, temporary foreign workers that they're going to make permanent now. They just can't sink the country fast enough, much like the Democrats were doing in the U.S. And the show goes on, right? So we're left to deal with it. I really feel sorry for the generations coming up here. They must just be so disillusioned. The youth unemployment rate, I keep saying, it was back in the, I think it was 86. My income for that year was $200. I made it through that year. And life went on afterwards, but that was one tough year. These people coming up, it's not a year. They're looking at a long haul trying to accomplish anything the way this economy has been trashed. Now, probably going to see an increase in crime. Desperate people do desperate things, right? The people coming in don't have to worry about it so much. The jail cells will be reserved for the Canadians, not for the new replacements. So, unfortunately, that seems to be where we're at until we can try to get some sanity back in here. The Liberal supporters have lost their collective minds. If they had anything before that they could call sensible thought, that's gone. So it's a big divide, and we just got to deal with it. Hopefully common sense will prevail. Phil, the 1970s recession was tough times and all caused by government. Usually it's usually the government's fault anyways, mismanagement, or right now it's corruption and also WEF and UN, right? So we got a hard hill to conquer. It's not going to be done in any short amount of time. Rather, it's going to take many years to straighten this mess out. Lamb used to steal food back when I was poor in the 70s. You know what I noticed? I see these, I haven't noticed it lately, but I know, I think it was out on the West Coast. I don't know, it might have been on the East Coast, or it could have been both. I don't know. But the new immigrants walking through the produce section, stand there eating grapes, or usually grapes, eh? It's because, you grab a few and shove them in your mouth, and grab a few more and shove them in your mouth. So the evidence has been consumed. And then they walk out, eh? They just come in for a snack. And I go back out and bum around for a while. Until I get hungry, I'll come back in, maybe have a few more. So, yeah. It's hard to beat this liberalism, isn't it? They just, those new folks just love it. So, I was looking at Ecclesiastes 10:2. You've probably seen that post. It's from the NK, or from the KJV, rather, excuse me, KJV. It says, a wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart is at his left. So there you go, words of wisdom out of the great book. Wise man's heart is at his right, the fool's heart is at his left. That kind of says it all, doesn't it? Kind of explains it. It's amazing. And I notice on X now that there's a lot of liberal loonies that are showing up on there just to harass people, right? And then they run back and hide on Blue Sky where they belong. Get back over to Blue Sky and don't come back. Got a problem here. The State Department, U.S. State Department, President Trump has come up with the Shield of the Americas Summit. Cements the commitment of 13 like-minded countries in our hemisphere. We share a common region and now a common purpose. There's only one problem with that. Canada's not there. So the U.S., Mexico, and South America are all aligned against the threat from China, but not Canada. We're not invited because we invited China in instead, right? So a big boogenhagen on Canada. So I'm gonna show you one here. I'll show you a little clip. Bring this up full screen. Here we go.
Every leader here today is united in the conviction that we cannot and will not tolerate the lawlessness in our hemisphere any longer. With the courage and resolve of the leaders in this room, will make our nation safer, stronger, richer, and more successful than ever before. Every leader here today is united in the conviction that we cannot and will not tolerate the lawlessness in our hemisphere any longer.
So, yeah, Canada's not there. No, and no wonder. Can't trust them. The U.S. can't trust Canada. We're allies forever and in the past, and now Trudeau did his best to destroy it, but Carney couldn't do it. The cleanup, finish the job, right? What a shame, what a shame. This is where we're at. You know? I think it was Dan Dix. I think he said we had 100,000 now since the MAID program was brought in. They've taken out 100,000 Canadians. Got to make room for those newcomers somehow, right? So that's one way to do it. I just hope they're liberals. Just saying, they're stupid enough to fall for it. Then they probably are liberals. We got Billboard Chris in front of Trump Towers in New York, I believe. Seems to me. And he's standing up for the kids while others won't.
Hey everybody, Billboard Chris here, outside the Big Kahuna's Tower, President Trump's tower, having conversations about the greatest child abuse scandal in the history of modern medicine. I am, of course, referring to the totally insane practice of trying to change the sex of children with puberty blockers, prostate hormones, and surgeries. And I just want to thank President Trump, because more than any leader in the world, thank you, sir.
God bless America.
God bless America, that's right. Stopping this child abuse.
100% right. Thank you.
My pleasure, thank you.
Keep it up.
I will. I'm not stopping. That's right. God bless President Trump, who more than any world leader is working to stop this. As soon as he took office, signed an executive order pulling federal funding from any hospital engaged in this madness. The FTC is investigating fraud. The DOJ is working on prosecuting individuals involved in this. The Center for Medicaid and Medicare is pulling all funding. So all cylinders are firing in this administration. And amazingly, just today, probably the best news of all, Trump said he's not signing another bill until the Senate, which is dragging their feet, which refuses to nuke the filibuster. Trump said he's not signing a single bill until they pass a bill stopping the mutilation of children. He also said he's not signing another bill until they pass a law requiring identification when you go to vote. Imagine that. Imagine doing what every country in the world already requires. So that's tremendous. He's doing everything he can. And I just want to thank President Trump from the bottom of my heart, because you, sir, are protecting kids. God bless President Trump, and God bless America. Hey, everybody.
So, Billboard Chris, he's recognized pretty much around the world now. There's a good Canadian. Standing up for the kids. They need more voices. This government has to be changed. This liberalism is taking us down big time. This was on X here. This is from Table Salt. They're meeting about Canada, is what that is. The American Shield. President Trump summoned Presidents Milei, Santiago Pena, Rodrigo Paz Bukele, I think Tito Esvira, and Daniel Noboa, I think they're something like that, to a presidential summit in Miami on March 7th to form a regional bloc to stop Chinese influence in the Americas. So that's what it's all about, is stopping this Chinese influence. Gee, what country in the Americas is okay with that? Canada, for some reason. Talk about, I guess maybe just a little bit of money changing hands here or something, selling the country out. Maybe it's because of the NWO, because if I say that, actually what that stands for, I'll get a blue box underneath from YouTube saying that that's a conspiracy theory, even though Bart Carney actually said the word out loud, that that term, the NWO, out loud. If anybody else says it, oh, that's just conspiracy theory, that's not happening. Oh, really? Okay, so Mark Carney's lying? We know he lies, pretty much steady, but that time he was telling the truth. So, is he a snake? Oh yeah, Faye. You know that. We got this one here. Doesn't like some of these questions.
Thing is that we have not received any request for such assistance. First point. Second point, as you know, in this conflict, we were not consulted before it began. We're not engaged in the conflict. We do not intend to engage. What we are doing, where we are engaged, is dealing with the consequences of the conflict, consequences that continue to spread in the region and to some extent beyond into the Indo-Pacific region, obviously with the naval incident, to put it mildly, in the last 36 hours. So dealing with those consequences very much goes first and foremost to the Canadians in the region, protecting the Canadians. If the Canadians wish to leave the region, assistance with that, I can answer in more detail on that if that's of interest. So we have not yet received any requests. I don't necessarily anticipate those requests. We're in very close dialogue. I'm in dialogue with a number of leaders in the region who are partners, obviously Minister of Foreign Affairs and others. So, and any decision would would obviously be taken by the government, not by the armed forces.
So, this dork, no, Canada was excluded because the government isn't trustworthy. They're cozied up to China. All they do is trash the U.S. president. They work behind the backs of the U.S. Administration. Carney loves to say nasty things about Trump when Trump's not around. Same as Trudeau did, right? They don't have any backbone. So it's a cowardly attack. That's what they do. It's cowardly attacks, and the media supports it. Kind of like the old USSR, Pravda. It's kind of where we're at right now, right? Yeah. They are selling us out, but don't worry. Be happy. We have some replacements here, and they're learning how to deal with the Canadian winters. The new Canadians, well, they're not Canadians, yeah, but just the newcomers. They're dealing with the snow.
Does that make me cry?
Get rid of that. Pretty ingenious, though, in a way. You know, get that lawnmower out and mow that snow. By golly, I'm going to get rid of this snow, by golly. And there he is. And I wasted all that money on a snowblower. How stupid, eh? I could have just used my lawnmower. That doesn't work quite as good, though, does it? Oh, boy. This country has gone to the dogs or what? Like, come on, man. It's not a show of intelligence. I wonder how many are living in that house. They could have all come out with a shovel and cleaned it all up in a few minutes, but no, it's don't worry about everybody out there. He's going to do that. He's get rid of that snow. Unbelievable. But you can't really count on the police, though. This is from Darcy Media. Well, it's not Darcy Media. It's Wiretap, but I think that's Darcy that does. I think that's one of his channels. The police have got it under control here. This is the Toronto police. Got it under control. 9-second video.
Yeah, I'm not your bro. I'm not your bro. It's a green light. You guys just missed the whole light cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't like being recorded. So what'd she do? Turn the camera off, bro. I'm not your bro. What'd she do? She flips him off. They sat there through the whole green light being jerks. And she flips him off, and then the driver pulls away. That's how the police treat the real citizens of Canada. They would not do that to somebody with a one of those funny hats on their head. You know, the homemade ones. They just wrap around. Or guys will walk around with big swords and daggers. You know, they'll be all friendly to them, right? But yeah, that's grin and bear it. That's our country. That's where it's going. Pretty soon we're going to be just like down in San Francisco. Vancouver's pretty much there. I could see that coming in the past. When I was living there, I wanted to get the hell out of there off that west coast, the wet coast. This is down San Francisco. This is senseless, random act of violence. Just got poked in the back. He's down. Everybody walks around him. Nobody cares. Guy's bleeding out. In pain. Took him right in by the kidneys. There he is. So, that's coming to your town. It's being imported. It already is in a lot of cities now, the bigger cities, but don't worry. Everybody will get their share. We got a premier here that's crying for more asylum seekers. We need more asylum seekers. We're building apartments for them. The ones in the hotels, that are living in the hotels on our dime, they're the ones that the government's going to be using when the time comes. They're here for a reason. They're not here for the climate. They're here for a reason. People Christie happened in Vancouver, not San Francisco. But it could very well be Vancouver. It could be Toronto. Could be Montreal. Could be Edmonton. Right? Just pick up one of the bigger cities, even Halifax. But it's here. It's just this one here was caught on video down in San Fran, right? So, folks, you got to have eyes in the back of your head now when you're out there in the street. It's a mixed population, though. It's not like it ever was ever before. Trudeau destroyed this country. Carney's in here just pick up whatever is left over. So, well, it's everywhere, Fred. Yeah, no kidding, eh? Like I say, you got to have your wits about you. Not allowed to have any self-defense, you know. I mean, if the guy came at you with one of those little pokies and you had a bigger one, well, you'd be the one going to jail, right? Wouldn't be the other one that instigated it. So, look at everybody out there with a little bit of suspicion and, right? Just be aware. Everywhere you go out there, because you don't know what's coming up behind you, like that guy did, just out of the blue, just walked up right in the back with a shiv. Down he went. People, you're going to Sweden for 2 weeks in August. No, you're not sure. Be careful in Sweden, that's for sure. That place is a complete disaster. We're catching up, don't worry. Don't you know, hanging around Canada, it's going to be any better. You see, there's over in Japan, there's this Muslim woman. Japan's trying to get her straightened out. This Muslim woman in Japan, she's griping, says, Japan's obsessed with pork. Everything I buy or eat out has it. I can't eat any of it. Japan bans halal food. If we do the same, this is from Carolyn Levitt, the press secretary or whatever for the U.S. She says, if we do the same, 80% of Muslims will self-deport within a month. Should we copy Japan? I think that sounds like a grand idea. I noticed that when all this crap started going down, Costco was the first place to have half a lamb hanging in the cooler and the halal section right away. And the muzzies were in there, and they get around those free food samples, and the kids are grabbing stuff. They got a bunch of kids with them, and the full burkas, and they're stuffing their faces. They figure that's just free lunch. It's like, they'll take 10 pieces, they'll clean the tray out, and want more. We're off to the next one. They do that in the grocery stores, like I said earlier, eating grapes. Stand there and eat grapes and walk away. Like, what are you going to do? There's no evidence. You know, I ate it. Yeah, well, it's our new country. Thanks to our liberalism. So here's the, this one here. I wanted to get this one up. This is 2 minutes and 42 seconds. So I'll bring this one up and we'll show you. This is Marxism. Explained. Explained.
You see, the useful idiots, the leftists who are idealistically believing in the beauty of Soviet socialist or communist or whatever system, when they get disillusioned, they become the worst enemies. That's why my KGB instructors specifically made a point: never bother with leftists. Forget about these political prostitutes. Aim higher. They serve purpose only at the stage of destabilization of a nation. For example, your leftists in United States, all these professors and all these beautiful civil rights defenders, they are instrumental in the process of the subversion only to destabilize the nation. When their job is completed, they are not needed anymore. They know too much. Some of them, when they get disillusioned, when they see that Marxist-Leninists come to power, obviously they get offended. They think that they will come to power. That will never happen, of course. They will be lined up against the wall and shot. But they may turn into the most bitter enemies of Marxist-Leninists when they come to power. And that's what happened in Nicaragua. You remember most of these former Marxist-Leninists were either put to prison or one of them split and now he's working against Sandinistas. It's the same pattern everywhere. The moment they serve their purpose, all the useful idiots are used either be executed entirely, all the idealistically minded Marxists, or exiled or put in prisons, like in Cuba. Many former Marxists are in Cuba. In prison.
Never bother with leftists, the political prostitutes, the useful idiots. It's about as plain and simple as it could possibly be put. Political prostitutes. The left is the carrot on a stick party of their masters dangle this new problem in front of them, and they chase after it and defend it like rabid dogs. They're defending their own destruction. They are coming to defense for their own demise. They're clamoring for importing the third world so it can destroy them from the inside out. They don't even realize it. Supporting abortion, which is exterminating the next generation of people in the name of women's rights and freedom and convenience, because that's what your masters, your handlers labeled it as. You're so easily manipulatable. Letting liberals have power is literal cultural suicide.
Yeah. They're going to get it. When they do, it's too late for the rest of us before they before their demise. Phil, I never caught that speaks well for a guy who effed up his eyebrows. I missed what you caught there. But this here's Trump has had an issue with Spain, right? With the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez, spoke out pretty harshly against the U.S., basically the U.S. president, I believe. But hey, he decided he was going to have a little chat with Trump. And this was at, I can't see what this meeting was on here, but here he is wanting to have a little chat with Trump. And Trump deals with him like only Trump would. There's your seat. Sit there. You've been told. Sit down. Get that grin off your face, you loser. Yeah. Talk about being put in your place. There's your seat. So the secrecy is building up more in this country. We lost our PBO, our parliamentary budget officer, right? 6 months was up. They had 6 months to pick somebody. Nope. No, don't want one of those. Don't need a PBO. They just say things that we don't like. So let's just run it bare. Don't want that. So this I forget her name. It's Sandra Kobina, Conservative member of Parliament, speaking here. I like this gal. She's good.
Canada no longer has a parliamentary budget officer, and this is at the very moment that this Liberal government is running a $78 billion deficit. And this is the largest one outside of COVID. And at the very moment that they have reclassified $94 billion from operating expenses to investments. And conveniently, right after the PBO and international organizations have called for independent verification. Yet Canada's independent fiscal watchdog is gone, and the Liberals have not appointed a replacement. This negligence has not gone by unnoticed. The former PBO warned that the federal government is silencing an agent of parliament. The OECD has described Canada's PBO as best in class, a model for other democracies around the world. And ironically, just last week, the OECD warned that the lack of permanent appointments is a threat to stability. And the PBO is the independent person who tells Canadians what's really happening with their money. And this is what concerns me the most. The Liberals have known for 7 years that this term was ending. 7 years plus a 6-month extension. And still no permanent appointment. So Canadians should be asking the question, why and what are they trying to hide when deficits are rising, when fiscal definitions are being stretched, or what appears to be political convenience? When trust in our public finances matters most, that is exactly when you strengthen oversight, not leave the position vacant. And Mark Carney himself appointed this parliamentary budget officer last fall. He did his job. He spoke truth to power. And that is why Conservatives have written to the Prime Minister requesting for the interim PBO to be appointed permanently. If this government truly believes in transparency, appoint the person you trusted with the job. Canada deserves independent oversight, and especially when this government is running historic deficits.
Yeah, so we don't have one. It's 7 years. I thought it was 6. 7 years plus a 6-month extension. Now they're scared of him. They couldn't wait for him to run out of time so they could get rid of him, because speaking truth to power, they did not like that at all. They can't have that. How can you do dirty deeds when somebody's exposing you all the time? So, I mean, this one here, I'm gonna go back to that back to the Shield of the Americas. Trying to get it. Oh, I can do it this way. Bear with me, folks, for 1 sec. There. This is what it looks like when Carney realizes that he wasn't invited to the Shield of the Americas. What are they up to? They're not letting me in there. They won't tell me what's going on. No, because you're a traitor. That's why. They can't trust you. You sold out to China. We got, again, there's just so many issues. We can go back over to the issue of the cost of living, the food. That's why they're standing The newcomers aren't that stupid. They stand right there in the grocery and eat the food, so you don't have to pay for it. It's too expensive. I'll just eat it here. I'm not gonna bother with takeout. I'll eat in. So, food professor. They make jokes. Liberals make jokes of the food professor. Oh, Pierre's talking about the food professor again. Who's he? He knows what's going on, just like the PBO did.
Le blé, entre autres, qui posait problème, là, mais dans ce cas-ci, c'est vraiment une crise énergétique. Là. Le baril de pétrole a augmenté de 35% depuis le début de la semaine. C'est la hausse la plus importante depuis
I think there's English
1983
subtitles.
en une semaine. Là. Donc, c'est beaucoup. Et à chaque 25% d'augmentation...
Maybe not. I thought that I had the English translation. Doesn't do me any good, and probably a few people on here doesn't do them any good either. Can't understand it. Anyways, he's talking about the industrial carbon tax, $110 per metric ton on April 1st. Everything goes down April Fool's Day. It's like they're a bunch of suckers or something. Roman Baber had a serious question for CTV News. He said, is it appropriate for Mark Carney to make deals in his capacity as Prime Minister of Canada when Brookfield is a key stakeholder or beneficiary of the same deals? That was a big one down in Australia. So, and it goes on and on and on. Now here, this is in maybe Quebec, I'm not sure. It's Alexandra Lavoie from Rebel News. And what it is, I'll just give you a little idea what's going on here. It's a Table Salt reposted this. Elderly Canadian store employee is beaten by a mob of teenagers. This country is lawless. I'd say it's in Quebec because the signs on the window are in French. So, this is where we're at. Remember what I said? Pay attention to your surroundings. What's around you? Head on a swivel, right? Yeah. The old guy had enough of the punk. He spun him around. He had a hold of him. Look what happened. Got jumped from behind by a mob. How do you stand up against that many people attacking you? It's pretty hard. So, Vivo Crystal Ray. Wasn't it just Trump supporters that were invited, or am I thinking of a different event? I'm trying to think of a way to how I see it at. Yeah, they're Trump supporters because they're all on the same page, right? Canada's not on that page. We're in Carney's book, Values, is where the pages we're on. Doesn't include US, it includes China. So, and a lot of other countries that are just irrelevant. So it's just for show. And he's picking up a few bucks for Brookfield along the way. Say a few bucks, I mean, you know, billions of dollars, but so yeah, it is. But just remember, here's our guy. Face it, you never get tired of, you know, I'm not talking about looking at it. I'm talking about wiping it with something. So he's the man. We got what else do I have here? I know I had some more. Oh yeah. We got the famous or infamous Canadian truckers, the new Canadian truckers now. And they're very ingenious, these folks. When they run into an issue, they know how to deal with it, especially when you're talking truck drivers. Better bring you up for you and see what I'm doing, what I'm looking at. Here we go. Our new Canadian trucker. Pretty good job on it.
I'm going with them too with that. I'm not staying here for fuck's sake. Look. That's the goal. Oh, that's a.
My.
Je comprends pas.
Looks like you hit an overpass.
Je comprends pas.
Famous
Je
for that.
comprends pas.
Nice long straps, anyways.
Ça, c'est la compagnie d'Ontario. Il parle en du software, something. Je comprends pas ce qu'ils disent, là. Mais ils veulent s'en aller encore. Ils ont continué, ils ont des frappes.
Ah.
C'est collé là, regardez.
Look like
Il
he's
y a
saying.
fait à grand, là, que ça va faire longtemps, là, si les points de même, nous autres. Y a-tu quelqu'un qui va me dire qu'il va pas arrêter ça, ces gars, dans ce monde-là? C'est le titre en dessous des trailers, puis ça va couper, là. Ça va couper. C'est correct. C'est bon, ben,
Get all the
si y a personne qui
straps.
est capable de m'aider, là. Y a-tu quelqu'un qui est capable de m'aider puis dire que c'est légal, ça?
It's
Avoir
not,
un
it's
trailer
not
de même.
legal.
Avoir ça sur le chemin. Tu peux pas t'en aller à Toronto avec ça, là. Vous allez pas le faire à grand.
So he must have to make a run to Home Depot or someplace to buy more straps. So, he's going to hit the highway with that. He thinks he just did a great job, and now he's good to go. Get that order delivered so he can go get paid. Unless, of course, the straps break and the back falls off the truck and the load dumps in the middle of the highway. Meanwhile, the back of the trailer is laying in the middle of the freeway. Yeah. But you know what? India wants to send 60 million more. And we have a government that's got their arms wide open. So they're probably packing their bags already. Going to the airport, pick up their ticket that's prepaid for them by us. A hotel room for them when they get here. And a license to drive truck in the room. Right on the desk by the light to be a commercial driver's license, or CDL. So even Mexico doesn't want to talk to us. Mexico has usurped Canada's USA largest and most trusted trading partner. Carney, you blew this opportunity and you have been an abject failure. It's all intentional. Mexico announces kickoff of formal USMCA negotiations without Canada. But comment here, evil has come to Canada and it's not leaving without a fight. A few days ago, Mark Carney gave $100 million of Canada's pension money to India to invest, never to be seen again. Fired the brave parliamentary budget officer who is telling the Canadian people the truth, that the government is running out of money, and recognized Musqueam rights and title over most of Greater Vancouver, containing about 1.8 million people, all in a day's work. If this unwell man gets a majority government, the next stages will begin. They will include the complete collapse of the housing market, has already begun, and the seizing of assets. A myriad of policies and seemingly benevolent encouragements that lead many emotionally challenged and elderly white people to utilize MAID to prematurely end their lives, with a strong emphasis on nationalists and other lovers of Canada, pogroms against Jews and other groups who will resist a communist jihadist government, and the release of the jihadist army that is already in the country, living in hotels paid for by the Canadian government, also known as taxpayers, while the liberal boomers sit back on their vibrating recliners, imagining Trump and X their mortal enemy, pacified by CBC's not remotely real news. The next steps of their destruction are being implemented. The combination of decades of polite Canadian life and trust your government inertia have lulled them into a deep, dark, pre-death coma. They will only realize what is happening about 12 seconds before they're gone. When their condos are seized and they're about to be thrown off their balconies, if you think this is an exaggeration, just give it a little more time. Evil has come to Canada and it's not leaving without a fight. I drove from Guelph to the Queenston-Lewiston Bridge on to the U.S. today. I come here to fight for Canada in a myriad of different ways. The drive here was remarkably eerie. Normally, there are hundreds of cars with Canadian license plates on the highway to the U.S. At one point, I could not see a single car behind or ahead of me. All of this happened because, mostly, Liberal Canadians decided that Donald's 51st state memes, etc., were a sign that Canada was under attack from the nation that has protected its ass for decades. This is no fault of their own. He did not tell us why he was talking this way. I will write a piece that fills in those blanks soon. In simple terms, the U.S. had enough intelligence to confirm that Canada was in the heart of the communist jihadist coup, and they will not tolerate that peril on their expansive northern border. Not a chance. If we want to avoid military action to seize Canada, we the North must lawfully fight for our right to our great nation. We must get our boots on the ground, God on our sleeves, and reclaim Canada. We must go to Ottawa. We must. And I can't stress that enough. I think it's going to be a hot summer. I don't mean temperature-wise. I think there's going to be a lot of action. I think the action is going to be in Ottawa. People have had it. Enough of this disgusting garbage from this so-called government. So, but anyways, they're going to bring in mercenaries to fill the gaps in our military, because nobody wants to join up. Nobody wants to be part of it. You got no equipment. We did have some, but it was given to Ukraine. We did have some money to buy more, but we gave the money to Ukraine too. But they did manage to get tampons in the men's washrooms, you know, and our commander-in-chief has a hard job to give a speech without crying. And yeah, so they're bringing mercenaries. They're training the pilots now. They're training them in, you've seen this before. You know where I'm going with this. They're training their pilots in Pakistan. They're going to come here. They're doing their practice runs now. They don't really have the planes, so they're just, and this is not AI. This is real. Right? These are the new pilots coming into Canada. Here we go. Oh. Ooh, that's a hard landing. I love that one. So, I don't know if he could land on an actual aircraft carrier with that or not, but I'm sure he'd give it a whirl. Oh, by Allah, here I come. He's going to be getting his 72 virgins faster than he actually expected, I guess. Keeps that up. Needs a higher cliff. You You're too close to the ground, buddy. You need a higher cliff. Come on. You know, somebody tell this guy to get up there another couple 100 feet. Crystal mercenaries from India. Yeah, I don't think they really want to join up. I think they're just here for the freebies. They don't want to get hurt or anything. So we'll see. I think it's the IRGC myself from Iran. They're here already, 700 of them. Might as well just throw them in with the military, right? No, their own division. 700, yeah. Vivo Cristo, 60 million Indians. That's what Carney is inviting. Well, that's what the fellow in India talking to them is suggesting. That's what he said. Canada doesn't have enough. You're only 40 million. It should be 100, and we got 60 million that we can donate. They're very eager to donate 60 million people. We can't get this guy out of here fast enough. Just going through here, make sure you're missing. Well, there's this one here. Sometimes, you know, there's some pretty tough women out there, you know, that don't take crap off people. So, there's Emma. Some women, they just don't take crap off people. Then you got the ignorant people that just like to treat women like crap. So, I don't know what started this, but I seen how it ended. It's only 12 seconds, but it's a good 12 seconds. There, take that. Take that. That's gonna be hard to see where you're going now, buddy. You have to stick your head out the window to drive. You can't see through your windshield because it's all busted. You just happen to have a claw hammer right there. Let him have it. Throw that crap on me here. And we had I always like to have a little humor, you know. Towards the end here. Did I do the dog video last week? I can't remember if I did or not. I might have. Did the dog video? I think I did, but it's still on here. So I'll do it now. You'll know as soon as you see it if you've seen it before. Yeah, they some people just got too much time on their hands, eh? Well, I remember I was staying at a place one time, this many, many years ago, and I had a laser pointer, and the cat was just being a complete nuisance. So I got the laser pointer out, got it chasing the laser dot, and the thing was climbing the walls. It was going everywhere. And I'd turn it off and stand there and look all over the place trying to find it. I'd turn it on again, the cat would go nuts. Drive home from work, the cat's spinning around the room. Cat got more exercise than I've ever got in his whole life, just in one afternoon, having a little fun. So, got another week. Hey, you know what's going on Tuesday? Gonna give you a heads up here. Got the guy from CBC spilling his guts in committee about CBC and how they wouldn't put conservatives on their channel to for interviews or on their panels. He's going to give names. He's going to name names. That's going to be interesting. Find out. We know CBC is really bad, but now we're going to get names. And we're paying them big money, huge money. So that's in committee, and it'll probably be after question period. Should be a pretty good week. Question period, we'll see. But anyways, it's good that CBC is getting more exposure, not the kind they like, of course, but we'll see. Maybe, I bet you, what do you think? Do you think CTV and Global will show a clip of him naming the guilty parties from CBC? We'll see. Okay, folks. Next week, we're hitting the Ides of March. We'll see how that goes. Thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll do it again next week. It's great seeing you all on here. Hope you all have a wonderful week. So, bye for now. God bless.